What's up guys, my name is Ash and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. This is the latest Sword Art Online game in the franchise. It just came out pretty recently and I was just going to have a little bit of a discussion on it today and do a bit of a review on it, because I've played pretty much all of the Sword Art Online games and honestly I think this one is probably my favourite at the moment. I think that this is the best one we've had since Fatal Bullet. I think the last few games were really disappointing, honestly. Like, I thought Alicization Licorice, I wouldn't be mad if you said that was like one of your favourite games in the franchise, because it's not horrible, it just wasn't for me, honestly. But the most recent one, Last Recollection, I was not a fan of. And honestly, I wasn't really a fan. I haven't really been a huge fan of many of the games since Fatal Bullet. And I feel like all of the games are missing one key component, and that's what this game has, and that's the multiplayer that this game provides, which I think is the selling point of this game, is they finally do a style that suits the Sword Art Online franchise with the 20-person, I think it's 20-person PvE. I think this is basically what we've been asking for years, I'm pretty sure. And I think that if they just keep updating this and keep giving us more like maps and more bosses and like more DLC with more bosses, so we can get like more stuff in the content in the game, I think this game has a huge chance to be really good. This game is showing a lot of promise for me so far personally. I think that it's honestly just everything that all the other games have done wrong, this one does really well, in my opinion. I think the combat feels really nice. Sometimes it can feel a bit janky here and there. But for the most part, the combat feels really nice. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, I feel like almost all the characters have a pretty good use for them. I think like the characters they've chosen aren't honestly all the best. I think there's a few characters that sadly missed out, and I think that there's a lot more characters that they should have added, but that's why I hope that this game continues its live service properties and they can just like keep updating and adding these characters in the future. But honestly, I think this game is really good. I think this is the best game we've had since Fatal Bullet. If not, in my opinion, it's probably better than Fatal Bullet, but that's just me personally. I think that if you said to me that Fatal Bullet was your favourite, I wouldn't have any issue with that. I wouldn't try and argue. I'd be like, yeah, I understand how that could be. But I think if this game just keeps on getting updates and keeps on just becoming a more well-rounded game with all the bugs being pushed out and more characters being added and things like that, I think this game can really be good for the Sword Art Online franchise. This is their first time doing something like this, from my knowledge, except for like Fatal Bullet, and that was just a massive PvE pretty much. This is like their first time doing something like this, on this scale, I believe. And I think they've really smashed it out of the park. I think that one of the biggest issues I had with the game is honestly just having to unlock the characters through multiplayer. Not multiplayer, sorry, the campaign. That only takes like a day, like it's not if that, like a few hours probably to finish the campaign and get all the characters, and you don't even have to like beat the whole campaign to get all the characters. So I also do think that the story is actually really sick. I didn't really follow it too well, but like at the end I was starting to tune in a bit more and stop skipping it, and I did actually think that the way it wrapped up was pretty sick. They do the classic that every other SAO game does. I do like that it was much more on the back foot. I think that the fact that it's just done and that's it is really cool. I like that the DLCs are just adding like a few sets of missions that you can do, but you don't have to do to get the character for the DLC. That's the character I'm actually playing right now, which is Straya, the new DLC character. Just came out, I'm pretty sure, like the other day, sorry. But yeah, overall, this game is really, really fun. If you're a Sword Art Online fan that's been like, oh, I'm not going to play the games anymore because these last games have been really disappointing, I would heavily recommend getting back into the franchise just to play this one and give it a try. If you don't like it, Steam offers refunds after before 2 hours. And I probably shouldn't be saying that, but I mean, if you don't want to, you know, if you end up not liking it, then you can just refund it. So I would definitely recommend everyone giving it a go if you have the money for it. I do think it's a bit overpriced, and for a game, I think that honestly, overall, it's a bit much for a game like this. I think if they end up doing a lot more with it, like they add like a bunch of DLCs, like something like Naruto Shinobi Striker, I think it's called, the Naruto game that they've had for fucking like years now. That game, if they like update like that game does, and like add a bunch of characters, I think it could be really good and definitely worth the price. But right now, I'd say it's definitely should be more of the 60-70 range. But that's kind of the issue of all games at the moment, so I'm not going to hold it against them. But as a game, like on the whole, it's not great. Like it's nothing crazy compared to like other games that like have come out this year, if you know what I mean. Like Black Myth Wukong, I guess, for example. It's not like a crazy good game on its own, but as a like anime game and as an SAO game, I think it's really, really good. I think just counting it like in the SAO, if you just count it as it is, just a Sword Art Online game, an anime game inside of that genre, it's really a good step up from what we've had in the past years. And I'm honestly so pleased that they've finally like listened to us and finally given this game, the Sword Art Online franchise, the buff that it needs after all these years. I do think there's a lot that needs to be improved, but I think that I'm just going to be confident this time and pray that maybe finally they'll break through and just have one really good game that we can stick with and not have to go from like 600 different games, if you know what I mean, because that's kind of been what's really held this back, if I'm going to be honest. It really held this franchise back compared to other things. You look at Naruto and it's like I said before, Shinobi Striker, and then they also have their other franchise, the fighting version. But Sword Art Online was never a fighting game, so. But strictly talking about Naruto Shinobi Striker, like I think it's a really strong game for Naruto fans. And then you look at something like Dragon Ball Xenoverse. That game's held up for years and years, and it's still really, really good today. And I think that if this is finally Sword Art Online's like entry into that version of type of game, like a live service that can actually last, I will be very, very happy with that. So yeah, I would heavily recommend getting this, especially if you're a Sword Art Online fan or a fan that just likes very grindy games. So that's the type of game that this is. But yeah, except for that, thank you guys for watching. I'm just going to let the rest of the gameplay speak for itself, and yeah, hope you got to see you guys in the next one. Peace.
敵がダウンした。チャンス。敵がダウンした。チャンス。目標クリアだ。転送門へ向かうぞ。
飛びます。転送門が開いたぞ。先へ進みボスを討伐するのじゃ。
リリースリコレクション。先なさん。
乗るじゃないか。敵が何か仕掛けてきそう。攻撃じゃない。
なんたって俺がいるからな。こんなもんよ。